What's up, guys? Welcome to the Tim Sports Talk, and today we're talking about the Washington football team change name list. All right, so they have been sending out a list to certain fans to choose from, but they're not sending the entire list. They're sending a portion of a broader list, and they're not asking people to vote. They're just trying to get feelings on certain names, I guess. But let's just, there's more than 30 options on this list. So we're just going to take a look at this list. Okay. Washington Aces, Washington Ambassadors, Washington Anchors, Washington Archers, Washington Armada, Washington Aviators. I feel like none of these A names have ever been listed anywhere else other than this list right now. Like, I've never seen anybody argue for any of these names anywhere in any fan base. I mean, like, I haven't seen anybody on, like, Twitter polls include these names. I haven't seen anybody on my Redskins Facebook pages names. Like, what are these names? Beacons, Belters, Brigade. Same thing. I don't know I've seen Commanders. Okay, so we finally have gotten a name where I've seen before. Commanders, all right. Washington Defenders, well, I guess we would just be taking the DC Defenders name from the XFL League. They might bring that XFL League back, so Defenders doesn't make sense because we already have a DC team named the Defenders. Demon Cats, I guess another representation of DC, the Demon Cats. Another one I've never seen before. Who in the world is bringing up Demon Cats? Good. Okay. First City Football Club. Okay, we're the FCFC. All right. ACDC, I guess, right? FCFC. FC squared, right? Why not that, I guess? Whatever. All right. Griffins. Guardians. Icons, the Washington Icons, Majors, Monarchs, Pilots. We may as well be the Red Tails if we're going to be the Pilots. Why would we be the... Makes no sense. Like, why would we be Pilots and not go ahead and just choose the Red Tails? All right. Presidents, yeah, I would love to see a Trump on one end and then an Obama on the other. Wouldn't that be great? You just have Trump and Obama on the same helmet. Like, we're bringing unity to the country, right? We're bringing both. Or actually, we're just bringing hatred from either side, right? Oh gosh, good old Biden. Have a new president every single week in a country where a lot of not very in today's no. Razorbacks. So we're going to go with Arkansas. Razorbacks. I guess Cameron Curl must have brought that one up. Maybe that means we're going to be drafting Felipe Franks. Huh? No, I'm just kidding. Red Tails. All right, Red Tails. I'm not the biggest fan of Red Tails. There's a good story behind it. Then that's not why I don't like it. I think it's kind of cool to be named after the Tuskegee Airmen. So not necessarily opposed to it on that front, but there's a men's spanking magazine. And nobody wants that nonsense. Red Wolves, that's the one I'm in for. Good old Red Wolves. Howl to the Red Wolves. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. Red Hogs. See, this is the kind of thing that, like, people are like, oh, you're just trying to force the red. And this clearly is just a force of the red. I mean, why in the world would you say Red Hogs? I have no idea. But Hogs is a cool idea because of the old offensive line. But at the same time, like, I think that would be kind of disrespectful because, like, there was like an initiation to get into the Hogs, right? Like you didn't just walk in and become a Hog, right? Like Joe Theismann wanted to become a Hog his whole career, and they kept saying, no, you're not in. You're not allowed. Even though he's on the team, he was the quarterback, but he wasn't allowed in. They ended up finally bringing in John Riggins. I believe Doc Walker may have been brought in from the tight end spot, but like it was a very exclusive club of that particular fantastic offensive line, the best offensive line in football history. And I don't think that that's really a good thing to do with, like, now we're all the Hogs. It's like, no, we're not all the Hogs. They're the Hogs, and we're celebrating them. but now we're all Hogs. I don't know. I don't really like that aspect of it, because if you actually look into what the Hogs meant to them, I think that's not really good. Renegades is a name I've seen thrown around. I guess a way to keep the R. I do want to keep the R, so I guess if we had to choose one, I would choose any of these to keep the R. But the Renegades, I mean, I don't know. It just seems generic to me and kind of bland and bleh. Riders, yeah, no. Rising, the Washington Rising, like the sun, not really interested. We already have the Kansas City Royals, and we don't. I mean, DC is not about the royal family. I mean, that's kind of like anti-America almost. Like, we're not about royals. We fought a war to get away from the royals, right? We didn't want to have a king. We wanted to have a representative republic. So, democracy in action kind of thing. So, yeah, no, not the Royals. Rubies, good old Rubies. My dog's named Ruby. My great-grandmother was named Ruby. So, Ruby's kind of cool. Ruby Doobies. But not really for the football team. No, thank you. Swifts, the Washington Swifts. Okay. My favorite attack that Pikachu used to have back in Pokemon Yellow or Pokemon Blue, right? Good old Swift action. Yeah, that's weird. Washington Warriors is a popular one with the old heads. Okay, they like the Washington Warriors. I guess you can kind of keep the same mantra, but the whole idea is you really can't keep the same mantra. But you have the the military, of course, like the Wounded Warrior Project or anything like that. Like, I guess it's a kind of homage to our military, and DC is obviously the head of the head of the military there with the commander-in-chief in DC. So I guess they kind of like that idea also, as well as you can kind of keep some old memorabilia. You can keep the same logo. At least you can't you're not going to keep the same logo as a team, but I guess as a fan, you can keep the same logo and talk about how they were great warriors back in the day for the Native Americans, I guess. So there you go. Washington, D.C. Football Club, DCFC. So a little bit of the similar thing with the FCFC. Washington Capital City Football Club, a little CCFC. I'm just not a fan. I mean, good grief. How many syllables is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 syllable football team name. Who's the next closest? I mean, Green Bay Packers is 4. Tennessee Titans is 5. Like, Jacksonville Jaguars, I guess, is 6. Would Tampa Bay Buccaneers is 6. I mean, that would be almost double the next longest name, right? Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, that's 6. I mean, that's a mouthful of a name right there. Washington Capital City Football Club. Wayfarers? Who in the world put Wayfarers? This was a troll, and they actually put this on the list. Like, this is a troll. Are you serious? I mean, the whole conspiracy theory behind Wayfarers and how they're using... Yeah, I'm not even going to go all into it, but this is a troll, and they actually put it on the list as if it was a good idea. Yikes. Yeah, definitely not. Wild Hogs, like the movie, the bikers. Another hog as well. Similar story with the Red Hogs, but Wild Hogs would be better, I guess, than Red Hogs because it's just forcing the red. But still not big into it. 32 FC, so we're kind of go with the 49ers and 76ers idea. Kind of go with the year, and we'll kind of be the 30 seconds. No, thanks. The 30 seconds, the 32s. Football team. So just keep the football team. Yeah, my choice is the Red Wolves, obviously. I think the Red Wolves are just way above and beyond the best. I know a lot of people disagree with they hate the Red Wolves. It's a Pee-wee team name. I bet there's a Pee-wee team name of everybody but the Icons. Like, who in the world are the Icons, okay? But I bet a Pee-wee team is like... and the Demon Cats. Demon Cats is made up. But, like... All of these teams are probably... There's some Little League team probably named one of these everywhere. I mean, come on. I mean, Little League's teams just take names from the pro teams. I bet there's a Little League Cardinals team or a Little League... I mean, there's high school Redskins teams. There's all sorts of teams out there where pro teams get used all the time. So I don't understand like why that's such a weird criticism to me. It's just stupid. I mean, like, who when they came up with the Dolphins, like, ooh, the Dolphins, you want to be the ooh, cool. I mean, there's silly things like that all over the place with every single name. But like, I think the Red Wolves are just the coolest. I made a whole video on it. I'll go ahead and put that link in the description of why I choose the Red Wolves if you want to go watch it. But that's definitely Demon Cats is just silly. I just don't understand. The Warriors, I just don't want to be a part of the Golden State Warriors. I want to be a little, and it's just kind of a bland name to me. It's just I put other reasons why I don't want that one, but I don't know, just tough. But anyway, I just wanted. So yeah, they're still going through the process. They want to have it done by 2022. So they're still going through this rigmarole. I feel like this was just like a list of like, because people could put their suggestions in there, and I think they just made it an overly big list on purpose for you not to get an idea of what they've whittled it down to. Because we're like 9 months in, they have to have an idea of what they've whittled it down to. I bet it's like the Commanders, the Red Wolves, the Red Tails, the Warriors, football team, and maybe something with Hogs in it. I bet they've whittled it down to like a limited amount, or maybe the Defenders. I bet there's like maybe a half dozen to 8 names that they are actually really considering. They're not really considering Demon Cats. That's just not happening. Like the Icons, really? There's no way they're really considering some of these names. So I bet this is more of just a more broad. They just took all sorts of them and then like kind of sprinkled them in there, so you don't know which ones they're actually considering. But as I said, this is not a vote. They're not asking people to vote. They're just asking people to just, I guess, hot or cold. Are you warm to this idea? Are you cold to this idea? Do you hate this idea? Do you love this idea? What are you giving? What are you giving to me? But Jason Wright, they're taking their time. I did hear when they first started this could take up to 2 years anyway. So it's not ridiculous that this is taking so long. I know a lot of people are just choose a name already. Just choose a name already. Well, there's a lot of research, a lot of stuff to go back into of why you should choose certain names, why you shouldn't choose certain names, especially in a very sensitive world we live in today. Everybody's very, very sensitive as far as, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just this facts. Okay, I'm not making any moral judgments here. Okay, I'm just saying it's a very sensitive world we live in, and we got to make sure that we do it right and make sure we're not offending a group of people or doing this or doing that. Let's just take it all in, take our time, but in 2022 we should have a new name, and hopefully it's not football team, and hopefully it's not the Demon Cats. But anyway, you guys let me know what you guys want the name to be in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also in the description below, there's a Discord link. Hop in our Discord and come talk some football. And last but not least, our donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate to the channel. And until next time, see ya!